Welcome to the Van Conen Sessions. Here, it's all things life and music. Hey guys, welcome to the Van Conen Sessions. We are live at 5. Thank you all for joining, tuning in. This week we got our good friend and brother Patrick Heffron back on to discuss music's demise. Pat had sent me a while back. For those of you who know a man named Rick Beato, he's got a platform on YouTube, strictly music and interviews musicians. Some great interviews. Guy's got 5.4 million subscribers. You could send some our way. It'd be cool. Anyways, Pat had sent me a video that this guy had. He's saying, what the F happened to music? And so I watched that. It was like 10 minutes. Makes a lot of good points. And so we're just going to run over those, some highlights Bret and I have, and get Pat's take, because he's a history buff when it comes to music. And we all obviously have experience in music with instruments and percussion and whatnot. So we're just going to talk about that.
And whatnot.
So whoever wants to start out with a note or
Well, I do have that the 1960s introduced multi-track and punch-ins, which I've used personally with my music once. That was an interesting experience. I'd rather just do it in a take than do punch-ins personally. But that was just the first note that I had on here, so I threw that one out there.
Right on. Yeah, my first note was from Rick Beato saying music is too easy to make. And I get that, where he's coming from with that, because in a sense, I mean, depending on what you're doing, obviously you can sit down, press play, and you can spit some words out. That's obviously a lot easier than sitting, gathering a group of people and using instruments and making something together that is in tune,
Right.
So what do you think about that, Pat? You're cutting out really bad now. I don't know what happened once we went live.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
No,
it
it's
wasn't.
like
It was fine before.
every other word we're missing. I don't know if you got something
It's
going
really
on.
choppy on my end too.
Maybe your signal went bad or something, not sure.
It's because we went live and Facebook don't want us to be
Of course,
live. That's what
right.
it is.
They're like Patrick Heffron. We don't want that guy on here. Yeah, it's
Crap. Yeah,
You
it's
guys are
really hard.
getting choppy too. Jesus.
must be your connection. Are you far from your are you just using data? It's odd because it was
No,
fine.
I got full bars, man.
Huh.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that was perfect before we got
it's
on live.
fine.
We go live and then it goes stupid on us, of course. Well, hopefully it'll straighten out, because I know you got a lot to bring to the table with your
Yeah, for sure. Looking
I'll try to
forward to
log
it.
through my phone to
Crap.
we'll keep talking and I'll try to log in through the phone.
Yep, gotta love the technology, man. We had that issue with Jesse, but that was because he was uploading tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next note that I had was the auto tune in the late 90s. They did things like, look at that tune that Cher did, where they all
Yeah, I got that one too.
take your voice and just drag it all over the place.
Believe.
Yeah. Quantization, drum machine. Now we use drum machines, but I used an Alessi's drum machine over the years, which was actually cool because you could still actually play it like a little tiny drum set, touch sensitive.
Yeah, I remember the Elysees. That thing was sweet.
we'd have fun laughing doing that thing like we're playing drums. Where's the drum set? Because you could record it and nobody'd ever know, you know.
Right.
Samples though, he made a good point in that as well as the drum machine. He's like, you know, samples. Where do you think
How
they
do you
come
think
from?
they're right? Yes, people who know how to record them
Recording
from actual instruments.
a symbol or a
Whoa.
right. But now we're fighting it, you know, AI. AI. That's the
Yeah,
biggest. That's the real big issue. I think what's coming into play here is now it's a battle between man and AI
right.
is almost limitless, and it just keeps getting crazy.
Which kind of leads to my next note. Spotify creates AI songs and attributes them to non-existent artists, which, allowing them to take the royalties from the would-be artists, you know. So like Spotify is literally just creating songs with AI artists, and no artists are claiming this money. This is AI. Spotify just, it's crazy.
It is. Uh,
That darn technology.
Seriously, man. Always something, dude. Always. Miking drums. So sharing physical copies of music was a real big thing that he brought up, and you know, obviously Pat and I growing up, obviously we're basically 50. You know, back in the day, it was cassettes for us, and we'd actually record music from radio onto a cassette, mix stuff up. But it used to be all physical copies of music you share, cassettes or albums or even CDs up into the
Right.
90s and 2000s, early 2000s. And now it's, like what do you say? Um, you can purchase, what, for 12 bucks a month, you have access to everything that's available.
Everything.
You don't have to
Right.
buy anything. So it definitely changed everything.
Right.
I think
There's
most
no
people,
feeling like going to the store and buying a physical album, man, and
right,
getting that casing off and opening up that case, and looking at the little booklet inside and all, they're just
right.
holy, there's doubles. I'm
We got
seeing
four.
double. Double trouble, man.
We got two Patricks. Watch out now. So,
I've been sober a year and I'm still seeing doubles.
so that, anyways, that was a really big thing for me because I mean, I had collected, if you remember, at the time
Oh
actually, I
yeah.
sold all of my CDs to Yosef.
Yosef.
But I had, I don't know, 350 or so CDs, probably 400, whatever it was. And it was like, you know what? There's really no point in having all these anymore as far as, I guess, as a collector's thing. But I don't know, it kind of faded out. And it's
Right.
like, well, I just listen to music. And of course, YouTube is one of my biggest go-tos for music now. I love watching music
Welcome in,
videos.
Brandon, if you're still here. Mhm.
Right
Yes,
on.
he's laugh reacting, so he's still here.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. We appreciate it. Looking forward to our history uh, session with you. And
Absolutely.
unfortunately, we're having some serious technical difficulties with Patrick, of course.
Yes.
Um,
Brandon, by the way, DM me. I have a webcam for you, man. You ain't gotta go buy one. You can just use this one until uh you get your stuff situated. So
cool.
you can get your thing going, man, because I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, for real. I uh,
Mm.
I actually have one I could send him to, but I don't think it's really worth it. It'd probably cost me more to send it to him than what it's worth. So,
Right.
and
He could probably just run over here one of these days when he's got time and just grab it.
right. So dependence on technology.
Oh yeah, I mean we're there. We're still there. You
Right.
know what, Facebook? You keep doing this to our guests. We're not gonna have any guests.
One,
Add it up to here.
right.
I'll stick around till we get it right, guys.
I wonder if I can put you in the
It's
waiting room if that'll fix it.
put you in the waiting room, Bob.
Good grief. I don't know why it's doing that. Stupid. Nothing like
I swear
ruining it.
it's Facebook, man.
Like you said,
Sorry, but well,
Well, that didn't work out too well.
no, it did not.
Not sure what happened there. We didn't have a problem with them on before.
No, we had like what, 10 minutes of a conversation before we went live?
Yeah, actually we were 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes before we went live, and then it went, can't understand him,
Yeah,
can't hear him, it's totally breaking up. I don't know. Sometimes we have an
man.
issue where we have to start over, but I'm not sure what's going on there. I
Right.
guess
That
we got,
generally happens before we're live though, but
I know, right? Yeah, unfortunately, guys, sorry about that. I don't have no idea why it's doing that other than, well, if it's Facebook, you're gay. I mean, did I say that out loud? Why are
you
you
heard
gay?
what he said. Why are you gay?
I guess we carry on and talk about what we got. So, you know, when I was speaking of cassettes and stuff, the hard physical copies, Tina had mentioned something and wrote down in the notes here. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we listened to radio, which it's still available. I mean, apps and stuff, right?
Right.
But how often do you listen to radio anymore? Once in a while, we'll throw it on, but it's like everything just changed. And we used to listen to radio, and like I said, we'd put a cassette in, wait for that song. You're hoping it's going to come up next and hit record. I've
Right.
actually got a recording on cassette of you back in the day when you were, oh, I think maybe 4 or 5. And it was when Metallica redid Turn the Page. Remember, I called into the riff, or the banana, I think it was. And
Yeah. Yeah, it was one or the other. I
yep.
remember the audio.
And I got it recorded, and you were like, "Can you play Metallica? Turn the page." And I was like, "Well, I certainly." It was pretty cool,
uh Eric Augustine says you two are clear, Pat was choppy.
right?
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. That was very unfortunate because like we said, we were about 15 minutes in conversation and didn't have a problem before we
Yeah,
went live.
it was completely fine until we went live. I'm just wondering because I'll have that issue sometimes where when I walk around the yard, so I have very bad cellular service where I'm at, but when I do my walk every day at a certain area of the yard, it'll pick up Wi-Fi, and I think it messes with my distance and my time because it goes from
Oh
Wi-Fi
yeah.
data to Wi-Fi
To
data.
data. Yeah.
So maybe it needs to shut off data or shut off Wi-Fi or one or the other. Anyways, sorry guys, but we appreciate you tuning in, and we
Yeah.
will carry on. And if anybody's got any questions, Brandon, if you're still
I
there.
had oh
Matter of
yeah,
fact,
right.
I was gonna say if anybody else wants to join in, we can send you an invite. I mean, I hate to do that to Pat, but it just ain't working.
I think he
Uh,
said he was gonna try to log in again.
yeah, we'll wait and
If I
see.
caught it properly. Right. I was gonna say too, also this note that I had that kind of shocked me was there were 100,000 new songs added every day in 2023 to streaming platforms. That's more than one song per second for the entire year.
Yeah, that's insane, man. That's
I heard that and
insane.
I had to rewind it, man. I'm like, hold on, let me make sure I'm hearing that properly.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
that's nuts.
and all music that exists is available for about $12 a month. That's just crazy. Obviously, you don't own it, but you can listen to anything you want at any time.
Right.
Um, the AI in music is just nuts. And I mean, I'm sure some of you have heard some of these new tunes. There's music. I mean, if you didn't know it was AI, you wouldn't know it. You think it's a real individual singing.
Right.
Uh, there was some kind of new country song they played on the
That
Blade
guy
one.
did, that guy that we
Rick
got these notes
Beato.
from, he did another video of him talking about a song that went number one, but then he also explained that that's on digital sales, which were only 3,000 sales, and he brought up a good point. Who buys music, like that anymore?
Right.
So basically what they do is they put it on the platform, they buy it, and they sell it 3,000 so they get put on a chart. And it's misleading because you think country charts that it's on the top, but it's only digital sales. So when you look at the real country charts, it's not
Right.
even, you know what I mean? But it still works because it gets the clicks and the publicity. It's still on a chart. So it's got its little
You know,
quirks.
yeah, and there's another the copyright aspect to me is kind of really gets under my skin. I get the fact that I'm going to write a song. I don't want to let you use the entire song free of charge. But you
Right.
can't even use a you can't even use a say 10, 20 second sample of music in it, and when you post it, you get a copyright flag. I mean, listen, I'm just trying to share a little bit of the music. I'm not trying to steal the whole song or anything, you know.
Right.
You can't do any of it unless you there's a way to do it, but you have to pay a fee, an annual fee in order to share music, clips of it or whatever. You can't just share it. So most of the time
Right.
when it comes to music, I won't even share any. Matter of fact, if you go in, if you look at our page, I shared a bunch of older videos of us jamming, you know, and when I played, when I uploaded the Godsmack tune, well, there's two
It picked it up
Godsmack.
as Godsmack,
It
yeah.
it recognized it as Godsmack and copyright tagged it. It was okay with it apparently because some guys are cool enough to let you do that. But it's not even them; it's us playing it, and there's no singing.
Right.
It's just
Haley says, I'm here. Thank you, brother. Can't believe it's that late in the day already. Yes, Haley, thanks for coming in. And I know, right? Where did today go?
oh
But
no,
we had
absolutely.
Pat and we lost Pat. Um,
Yeah, unfortunately, Pat's got a lot to bring to the table. Him and I have some
yeah.
pretty good conversations about it, and something happened, man. We went live, and we can't even understand what he's saying. Um, Hopefully, we'll get that fixed for the next time around. If he can't chime back in today, um, like I said, Haley, thanks for tuning in. All you guys that are out there, we appreciate you. And if you got any questions, Pat's going to try again. Hopefully, we can make it work. Um,
Absolutely.
so, anyways, I don't know, Brandon, you still there, Brandon? I know he's got to have some thoughts.
Jesse says, well, my music's on here and I publicly give you written consent to use my stuff if you feel the need to, which awesome, brother. We appreciate.
Very cool. Thanks, Jesse. Hey,
Can you
Pat.
hear me?
Yeah, we got you. How about now?
Yeah.
Better now?
That's perfect, man.
Yes.
Cool.
Geez, I don't even know, man.
I,
It's supposed to help us, right? Especially in music. And here we go.
see.
Yeah, no, you're golden now on my end.
Yeah, it's good, man. Thanks again for chiming in with us and joining us. And unfortunately, the beginning of the show is a little skewed, but that's all right. It happens. Now we can actually hear you
Oh,
and want to
good,
try that
good,
again.
right?
On the music is too easy to make. Let's try it again.
Well, it is too easy to make, and with the tools and technology that's provided today, people have become lazy. I've one of my biggest things that people don't agree with is I believe electricity ruined music. Your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
we spoke a little bit about that before, and I don't disagree. I don't completely agree. I mean, I
I
love
guess I'm
music.
kind of there with you. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle of it. Um,
Myself, I love electricity as far as because, ain't nothing like playing an electric guitar. The pitch bends and all the effects you can do. Maybe not even necessarily the effects, but like AC/DC, turn the amp all the way up to number 10, man, and you got rock and roll, buddy. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Or 11, right? There's
Right.
11.
You can tweak it past
or
there.
11, right, right.
So,
Get a little extra.
yeah.
But if we can all agree on that, there's kind of this demise in music, then we all agree that how important it is to us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And kind of where did that go wrong? And I wanted to get into like the history of music. I believe music was there before language. And how is that? And why did that happen? And part of that, I believe, is that man wants women, right? We want women. So what'd you do? You created a song. You hummed to her. You made pretty sounds, and you mimicked birds.
Melodic noises.
Yeah,
Well, you mimic birds, and birds sing a song, right?
that's right.
Mhm.
Us men are the beautiful ones.
But bird songs convey a message. One is it's I like you and come see me and wait. The other one is if you come over here, I'll kill you.
Right.
But it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same song.
Right.
So it's the interpretation of how
Yeah,
music.
interpretation.
And we also talked about that music is like a universal language. Everyone understands it, and
Yep.
everyone gets something from it, as the listener. And I spoke about before, as like a music maker, you don't know how people will interpret it. You have an idea, and it's a love
Right.
song, but and then this is where kind of the demise comes in like current music, which is that most of it is pointed towards depression. It's to make you sad.
Right.
And we also know that music, and it within tones of it, and the chords and progression that you choose can change
Uh-oh.
the emotion in people.
Definitely. Uh-oh. Freeze frame.
It can make you happy,
Not
can make you sad,
again.
joyous. Any church has used. Those words were sung for thousands of years before they were ever written down.
Right.
Very true.
So there's like a progression of music and what it means and how it's used to actually control people and manipulate feelings of people.
Right.
Um, and where it's become today, like, do you know the top 10 songs on the top 10 list?
No, I probably should have looked into that. I have no clue because I don't really keep up with music
Um,
much anymore.
you know what they were back in the 80s? Top 10 list. I could pick out a year, let's say 1980. And then,
Back in Black.
there would be like Depeche Mode, Back in Black, Metallica. The songs today, 40 years from now, will never be recognized or remembered because they're garbage. And just like the guy in the video was talking about, uh, most music today is stolen or re-recorded to the point that it doesn't even make sense anymore. Yeah, when you hear an AI song, most people can like pick it out and they're like, hey, this isn't really real. And I think people are starting to pick up on that, and they're starting. Like me, it makes me angry. I'm like, well, where's the real musician anymore? Where's the guy that can read music? Where's the guy that doesn't have to use a thousand pieces of electronics to make real music?
Right. That's
And,
just like like notes. So you got me kind of picking mine up again. Listen, I got notes for days, stuff I wrote myself.
yeah,
My own forms, highlights, exactly. Uh, you can't you have to learn it. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of time. Just like Brett when he was, you were only 3 years old basically when you started hammering on them drums, man. My ears are still paying for it.
I never learned to read the music though. I
Right.
just listened to it and replicated, I guess,
A lot of the
if you
greatest
will.
musicians don't actually know how to read music, but they can hear it and they're very talented with that. I don't know how to read music. I mean, I did start in percussion. I remember knowing some percussion from band in school, and I did start to learn a little bit, just like the stupid, Mary Had a Little Lamb or something, actually learning the single notes.
Right, the basics and
But I never really got into, basically, I just learned where the keys are on the fretboard on the guitar, and so I know how it all fits together. I educated myself that way.
and that's absolutely right. So the people, our ancestors who created music, couldn't write music, right? But because it was before language, and
Right.
it was before anything, any kind of written language. So, um,
welcome in Anthony and Haley says amen. Amen facts, Patrick.
Thank you.
so cordage and actual music written down on paper started around like 1100, and there was a monk who was like, what we need to do is put it on paper so that everyone who sings this song sings it the same way.
Right.
And Cortez actually took this down to South America after he roamed South America and killed everybody, right? When they went back a couple hundred years later, these people were singing hymns. They learned music that way. Uh, and this is where the universal language thing comes back in. But now it's been manipulated by corporations. It's
Oh,
been
definitely.
manipulated by the radio. It's been manipulated by the producers who don't want to actually put the work in, to the musicians who actually have the talent, and what they're doing is stealing it from them. So then we have a conflict, right? So then indie music comes into play, independent
Right.
guys who are like, you know what? I'm not going to have a producer. I'm going to produce my own stuff, and it's going to
Right.
sound good. And then what do we have? A commercialization of it again with MTV. Right? MTV first came on, they were going to be a no commercial channel that just showed music.
Right.
And but that changed it too, because it wasn't just music. Now you had to have a video to go along with it. Now you had
Right.
to have actors, and you had to be very flamboyant, and like the 80s rock bands. We got the big hair, right?
Right.
And these guys got makeup on, and they got now differentiating into genres. And now rap has been introduced to it. Is rap really music?
Well, then, right, MTV, that's a whole nother subject because MTV turned into rap TV, and then it was like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, long before it fell
Yeah,
off completely with music and just started doing reality TV,
right.
it just mainly turned into rap music, which I myself as a rap artist, I mean, I don't even agree with the fact that that happened. You know what I mean? It just you look at the roots in the beginning of MTV and then you look just I don't even know what happened. They should have taken it all to a different channel and left MTV alone. That's all I have to say.
Myself, though, and Brett obviously knows as my son, music videos, I love music videos. I still do to this day. Typically, every night we'll watch some music videos after I listen to our podcast or whatever. We'll probably listen to a few tunes. I love videos, especially if they're live. There's some new videos of guys like Red Clay Strays. What's the other country band that's newer? Oh, geez, One Horse Town. Them playing live. Excellent, man. They're an excellent band. I
Yeah,
can't
I
think.
love watching live performances. It's so cool.
And then another thing is Drumeo. I watch all kinds of Drumeo videos because it's really cool to get to know the guys that play the drums. And there you go, Mike and drums. Look at these drum sets like Mike Portnoy plays. I mean, there must be 100 mics on that drum set. You know,
Right.
that's to me that's amazing. I love the sound. I mean, it's like putting the drum set in your living room, turning it up, man. It's badass. I love it. So that part I've always loved. And back in the day when Brett was little, I had a monthly subscription. It was VHS back in the day. It was called Rock
Rock
Video.
video
Yeah.
yeah, rock video monthlies.
And
I
we got that in the mail. It was like, cool, check it out. There'd be new tunes on there, and new videos. I've always loved the music video, that part of it. But I also see what you're saying,
And
Pat.
I do too. Music video is good through YouTube. There's a lot of lessons that you can
Yeah,
learn
yep.
from
There's that
guys.
too. Yeah.
They can teach you different styles or how the solo is really played. But music is directly connected to cognitive health too,
Yeah.
uh, especially in a way that they've figured out that certain tones and certain frequencies can destroy cancer. Um, Music is so more important than just the pleasure you receive from the radio song, or like the old stuff that I like, Metallica,
Right.
Justice for All, or it invokes specific feelings, and that hasn't been, I guess, responsibly been taken care of. and I believe it's through just the big commercialization of it, and through these producers and companies that they don't want that, and they're not going to pay for a musician to sit down and record that song for 16 hours, however long it takes to make it perfect, right? And like the guy in the video is saying, so then what do? You cut it and you edit. You cut it and you edit. You cut it and you edit.
Look at Metallica even back in the day. If you look at A Year and a Half in the Life of, I loved that video. It was so cool to check them out in the studio recording it. Well,
Mhm.
back then, even then, the early '90s or early to mid '90s was when they were actually cutting tape,
Yeah,
splicing it back together. You know what I mean?
right, and tape it back together. And one like Metallica's probably one of their greatest videos was One,
Yeah,
and it portrayed a great
Love that
message
video.
of wartime and suffering,
yeah,
and there's good things to come from that, but
Right.
what is forgotten is where it started from and what it really should mean. And like I was saying before, you'll look at the Grammy Awards for this last year. I don't even know any of these people, and I don't appreciate whatever music they've come up with compared to back in the '80s. Those are songs I'll remember forever.
right,
And then I thought about this too. Have I become my father? Like, I'm not going to listen to
right,
this garbage.
right. Right. Scrooge, right?
What is this shit? It's
So,
not. It's not my old bebop. It's not my old rhythm and blues. It's not my old swing and jazz. Uh, but so what I try to do then in that respect is I go back through history and I try to find the old cool songs, hillbilly songs and mountain music, and I
right,
teach my son this stuff, and then we're challenging each other and learn the newest super old song that you could find, and it's not that like today's music is kind of offensive to a point, like WAP and stuff like that. And I understand that, and it's fun to have a controversial song, right? But people used to do that a long time ago too. But it never became mainstream because it wasn't truthful, and well, it is truthful. It wasn't pleasurable. It wasn't what you wanted your children to listen to.
all
Right.
right, right. That band I was trying to think of was Blackberry Smoke, by the way. That they're an excellent band,
Oh
excellent.
yeah, yep, good band.
But speaking of Metallica, I got to tell you, so back in it'd be the mid or late '80s, as I became up into my later teens. I was never into hard rock or metal per se. AC/DC was the heaviest thing I probably listened to it as 11, 12, 13 in that age. Well, then 16, 17, 15, I guess I was introduced to Metallica, but I never really liked it until, I had depression was an issue for me in my teens and later teens, and Fade to Black really drug me right into Metallica. Okay, so because it starts out slow and it's an
Yes.
amazing, cool, great tune, and then it turns into this solid raw. And you're like, hell yeah! It makes my hair stand up thinking about it. That really got me into Metallica and the heavier music back in the day. Yeah. Just a thought on the. Obviously, we're talking about music.
And it should, and so music is so influential, and I'm going to revert back to where it really communicates. So, mothers sing lullabies to their infants. Why? It conflates and it helps to complete a connection, and the child can recognize the mother's voice. It doesn't only soothe the child, it soothes the mother during a hardship time, right?
Right.
The baby is crying for a long time. And people have forgot about this, that we actually teach children through music. ABC song,
Right.
head, shoulder,
Absolutely.
reach, right? What's the other one? The head bone is connected to the
All
right.
right.
And then it goes even further. Like I can say all 50 states in alphabetical order in like 30 seconds. but I learned that through song.
Music, yeah. Repetition.
And people forget that it is music came before language.
Have you ever seen what's the tune Bret the Godsmack does and they do it in the high school gym?
Oh,
All the kids, there's like the whole gym's full of drum sets, so all the kids are playing drums to it.
Right?
And
dude, you
I got
so yeah,
got it in my
it's
head, but I
it's in
can't think.
my head, but I can't think of the name of it.
Usually Brett's like, bam, right now when I ask
Yeah,
him
I know,
something.
right?
Uh, Unforgettable.
Unforgettable.
Well,
That's amazing. You know, he teaches, and through the video, he walks kids through. He teaching them how to sing it. And Sully's an
Yeah,
amazing
it's so
artist,
cool.
man. He's an amazing artist. Piano, drums, guitar. Anyways, that is really cool. That type of stuff when we're teaching kids how to play it, put the phone
right.
down, learn how to
Well,
play
kids
an
can pick
instrument.
it up faster than anything else, faster than math,
Right.
faster than
Absolutely.
English, language and history, because it's enjoyable. It's fun to do, right?
Absolutely. Especially as you learn and you begin to realize, wow, I can do that.
Yeah,
You
Remember
know,
when
check
me
this
and
out.
Deagle went in the Guitar Center and started doing the
Yeah.
Godsmack drum off thing type deal? That
Yeah.
was flipping badass, dude. The guy ringing people up, he's like watching us, he's rocking out.
Yeah.
It's like,
That place is
it's like,
sweet
man,
because
that
you
was
can just jam out
awesome.
in there. They don't care. Jam it
Right.
out.
so like the demise of it then is there's a lack of exploration, right? There's a lack of encouragement for shoving an instrument into a kid's hands after he's learned the ABC song and enjoys that and learns, how to sing and really kind of tones and where chords fit in and how music is kind of set up. Um, but there's a lot of things that are forgotten, timing in music.
Right.
And then, like the guy in the video was saying, then we come into like copyright stuff, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of songs that we know and like, what's a good example? A Vanilla Ice, do 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 do, right?
Right.
Right.
Stole it from somebody else, right? It
Queen.
was a stolen beat from Queen.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all music is today. And when you hear the song and you kind of recognize it, and you're like, "Oh, you stole that from somebody else." That's the demise. It's the ignorance of promoting a new imagination and letting the new youth run away with it.
Well, there's also the beauty of, because you can do a three chord progression like the one you sent me, and you can do it in, 15 different ways and
Right.
make 15 different songs. The simplicity of that's amazing.
It does.
Um,
And most songs are those three chords.
right.
It's like almost 80% of them are those three chords: C, G, and D. Maybe you can add an A. Maybe you
Right.
just learn A7 or A minor, and then it can change it, and then you can add a bridge or something. But um, then we're getting back to a 3-minute song,
Right.
and this is from the radio, and that they're like, well, we have to limit the time because people don't want to pay attention to a song that lasts 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
It's like,
15 minutes.
oh,
Yes, they do.
speaking of
They
speak,
do.
speaking of that, man, we were in Kroger the other day and Inagata Davida was playing. I'm like, hey,
Oh, geez, that would have been.
there's a 20-minute song.
They
Uh,
probably have that
And there's
edited.
a lot of history on
right.
that song.
Yeah.
When I got a Davida, it was in the
Right.
Garden
Garden
of
of Eden.
Eden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's
That album is actually good.
you could do a whole show on songs of misheard lyrics.
Right.
People make up their own lyric, and they're like, "That's what it should say," and it's not. It was completely different. So,
Right. Hmm.
man, you've opened up like a can of worms on the subject.
Well, definitely, and that's why we're doing this series. So
What's your thoughts?
we're gonna continue to come back to obviously over and over again. We've got I think the next 5 shows. We got one more in music coming up in the next 5, but we're gonna continue it on. But we schedule them as we can get them, and we appreciate everybody coming and joining us just like you did today. Unfortunately,
Absolutely.
we had the and now you're
A
starting to
minor
get
hiccup, but
chopping,
mm,
getting choppy again. So anyway,
Can you hear me
Sunny
now?
Beach.
Yeah, you guys are starting to wonk out here too.
yeah. Well, I guess we made it this far. Hopefully, we can next time we get you on. Hopefully, we don't have that issue. So maybe we'll we got a good little midsection in there with some stuff going on, but you're breaking up again, so maybe we'll call it good for the night and look forward to another one down the road.
Well, I appreciate
Yeah,
you guys having me on. Yeah, it's not even hearing me. I appreciate you guys having me on. Uh, good luck with the show, man. You're really doing a good job.
Thanks,
we
Pat.
appreciate you being on
We
for
totally
sure.
appreciate it, and we will obviously we're going to be in touch, and we'll have you on again. Hopefully, it'll be better next time. But thanks again, Pat.
Yes, thank you, man.
That's unfortunate, guys. Those of you that
Yes, that are
decided to chime
watching.
in and watch and turn into a not so great, but here we are.
No, when we were able to hear him clear, man, it was going really well.
Yeah, he's got a lot to bring to the table, and well, we'll definitely have him back on.
Oh
Unfortunately,
yeah,
whatever
he's
happened
definitely
today.
one that, like you said, he's got a lot to bring to the table. We could easily do an hour episode with him,
Yeah, and I
easily.
was going to actually bring up because he sent me a song. I won't even say the name of it because he didn't want me to tell anybody about it. It's really cool, and it's just a little bluegrass type of thing, and I'm gonna trying to throw a little solo in there on it just for fun, you know. But it's hard for me to make time, and I haven't got around to it. And he's probably like, "What are you doing? Guitar's hanging right there," you
All
know. But
right,
it's hard to make time, man. I'm chasing dollars all the time, you know, living life and trying to do this podcast. And believe it or not, this hour podcast a week is pretty time consuming.
right.
Between
Well, I
recording
mean,
it,
yeah, we generally do our notes and we have a build up to it, and
you know.
um, but
We do spend a lot of time on it, and you know, no complaints. I enjoy doing it, and we're slowly
right,
growing, and we appreciate all you that continue to
absolutely.
support us, man. Because obviously, if without you guys, we ain't doing any of it. So,
It's right,
James, so anyways,
Hetfield,
didn't really get to finish out the notes with Pat, unfortunately, because he started breaking up pretty bad again. Pat, thanks
right.
again if you hear us. So
Yes,
in the rest of my notes. Basically covered it all. I was just gonna, you know, I did have written down that, you know, over my lifetime, man, I spent thousands of dollars over the years on music in the form of cassette tapes, vinyl albums, compact discs, T-shirts of bands. I mean, I used to go to the store there in Sandusky. Was it Real Video? I'd have the lady order me CDs, whatever I wanted, T-shirts. It was like once a week. I was probably buying. I should have bought stock in music instead. I might have some money to show for it today, but you know, it's one of those things how it's totally different now because there's really no physical copies. I mean, there are if you want to buy them, but it's just not as big as it were. And so it's kind of faded
right.
in that sense, you know, even like
The only physical copies that I buy anymore are like if the artist signs them, like the NF ones here.
you know,
Um, I can't say that because when Eminem came out with Coup de Grace, I was gonna get a physical copy of that, but I actually didn't, but I was going to. So it's not that I won't buy physical copies, but
right. Well, yeah, and it's
yeah,
just like, you know, you're because you have your endeavor with your rap stuff and some of you send me the stuff and it's cool. But it's different, you know. I mean, you can it really isn't a digital copy or I mean a physical copy, you know, like Jesse's doing his stuff, White Eagle.
right.
Um, most of his stuff is all, you know, it's all digital, you know, and I mean, I hope he does well with it. But it's just a
Absolutely.
different, you know, we're in a different time. It's 2026. everything's different. I think that ultimately, I think things will come back around, but it's just hard to say. It's kind of like, the living off the grid type of thing. People want to go back to an older way of life, and I mean, for instance, buying farm fresh eggs. I don't want to eat the plain eggs from the store anymore. They're flavorless. They're
Right.
that type of stuff. So when it comes to music, it's no different, and it's definitely more beautiful in its raw form with when a group of people sit down together and build it essentially, because that's what you're doing.
Right.
We know a lot of people, a lot of musicians. Shout out to Troy and John and Ryan Pugsley, Tyler Ruski. He's going to be back on. Is it the first? I think.
I
Anyways,
think
he's
that's
going
what
to
you
be.
said.
I
Yeah, I
think.
think he's gonna be our first February 1st slot.
Yeah. So Tyler's going to come back on. We're going to discuss his top vocalists, and then along with our top guitarists. So what Bret and I decided we're going to do is come up with like 15 of our top guitarists, and then we'll put them together into our top 10. And
Which the
Tyler,
previous ones we just did separately, and then
it's kind of hard, yeah,
just
because I'd rather
yeah,
us
it's
share back and forth. It's easier if we have the same list. We can each do a read one and talk about it.
right.
Tyler, now an amazing singer himself. If you haven't seen Tyler Ruski, and look him up on YouTube. He does excellent. He's an excellent singer. Um,
Absolutely.
so
Highly recommend
when we
looking him
talk
up.
with Tyler, and bring up musicians, obviously he's like us. He's like knows all of them. He knows
Right.
more than I do or whatever. But he likes to really break them down when we bring a name up. So he really likes to go into detail. So my guess is between his vocalists and our 10 guitarists or whatever, is definitely going to fill an hour with Tyler. So I'm looking forward to that as long as he keeps his phone charged. I told him that and he saluted me and laughed. So and I'm looking forward to that.
Uh,
But
definitely happens to the best of us. The I think the funniest one we've done so far for me, man, was go figure the men's mental health awareness, the whole build up to that episode, dude. I was having a fucking meltdown. And I didn't even think I was gonna make it on to the damn podcast that night, dude. I'm sitting here with my phone plugged in, shit's all jumbled around me, dude, and I'm like shaking because I'm so pissed off, dude. And I'm like, whatever.
right?
Here I am.
Oh
It's
boy.
about mental health awareness, and oh boy, am I aware.
It's like the old flip phone. I'm like, all right, snap it right in half. Had it up there.
Get
So
it up there.
well, listen, all of you that tuned in, man, our apologies on that did not work out very well, unfortunately.
Completely, yeah, completely out of our control. Although we do apologize because that sucks.
It really does too, man, because it was going great and then go live. Everybody go, what? I can't understand anything you're saying.
I was hoping for the audience's sake and everybody's sake that it was just me seeing that. But then I looked over at you and I'm like, yeah, I can see in his
No,
face that it's chopping for him too.
not
Yeah.
working. So, well, listen, we got through an hour and I will edit that out for our YouTube channel, try and get the best out of that we can get. Look forward to next week. We are going to have Scott McCann on to discuss law enforcement. He's an
Looking forward
excellent
to that.
guest. I've interviewed him a couple times before, and really looking forward to that one. And he's excellent. Another brother for sure. Great man. Retired police officer. Looking forward to that one. So we hope you guys will tune in for that.
Also
And
know, also know, also for the listeners, I wanted to say thank you greatly because I believe our Chris Farley's at like 65 now
yeah, it continues to
views.
grow. Yeah,
And it's continuing to rise. Tyler Ruschke's interview is at like 45 the last I looked.
yeah.
So we greatly appreciate you guys actually tuning in, watching those, and sharing them out. Keep rocking it with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. I get that we get that obviously everybody's not interested in every topic and subject. So
Right.
if you're not interested, we understand, but if you are, we hope you'll watch and share and help us gain um, subscribers and followers and help us grow in this thing and it can only get better and we're looking forward to next week, guys, and we appreciate you. We will see
Absolutely.
you next week on the Van Conant sessions. Oh, and by the way, as soon as we get more time, I definitely want to do more than one show a week, but we'll see how time pans out between work and everything else. So we will keep you posted because I would definitely like to do more than one a week. It's all time, man. Time is money.
Right.
So we will see you guys next week, man. We appreciate you tuning in, and peace from Grovetown, Georgia.
Peace from Peck, Michigan.
I feel the passion.